Hello everyone, it's Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. I am onto the second little blackberry and turn it around the other way. Just started it. The pink and white blackberry baby cardigan. New baby cardigan for the little girl twin. I'll just finish this row and then I'll put this down. I don't like to put my knitting down in the middle of a row. Sometimes I end up losing some of the stitches. But I'm just doing this little video before I'll be going to my granddaughter soon. So I'm doing this video early. So I never had one. No, I didn't have one up yesterday. That's it. So that's what I've done with that one. The pink doesn't show up very well on here, but it's a little bit brighter than it actually looks on the screen. I don't know if you can put it against it. Could maybe it's done with maybe it's a little bit deeper pink for it to show up more, but it does show up actually when I'm looking at it. It does. The pink is brighter than what it actually looks on the screen. It's the same with my sweater I'm wearing. The colour is deeper than what it looks on my screen. It might look deeper on other people's screen because this is my laptop I'm working on. I'll put that down. And I finished the little blue and white one. This is Sammy. Get your head around Sammy. Now this is a first size 16 inch, but it does actually measure 18 inches when I put it down. That's what I do, the sizes I do. I like them to measure a little bit more than the actual size, you know, that's supposed to be for a 16 inch. You do need a little bit more room. But it's 5.5, 5 inches, supposed to be 5 inches. I actually I measured it, it said 5 inches, but when you sew the seam up, you seem to get a little bit extra. I don't know how, but it actually measures 5.5 down there. And I knit the sleeve to 5.5 inches, but that measures 6 inches. So when you sew up the seams, it seems to make them everything longer. So I've put it on Sammy, and Sammy I think is about the size of a premature baby because this is slightly bigger on Sammy, as you can see. Well, Sammy's a little boy today because this is for a boy. But when I finish the pink one, I'll put the pink one on and Sammy will be a little girl. I could do with a little hat actually to go with this, but the lady, this one's going to the United States, she just asked for the cardigan. So, and I've just done a round neck on it. You know, if I do any more, I'll do them. But this is for the finish off my PDF. So I have everything, all the instructions written down in my PDF. And I do have the instructions written down for a collar if anybody wants to put a collar on as well as just the round neck. And you have a few, when you do a collar, you do have a few more extra stitches because when you do this, with this one, with a round neck, you put the neck on first and then put the bands down here on afterwards. But when you do a collar, you put the bands on first because you take the collar halfway across the top of the bands. So where this had, I think I picked up 55 stitches altogether around the neck with all the pieces. But when you do a collar, you have a few extra stitches where the top of the band is because you start the collar halfway through the band. So the two pieces meet in the middle. So I'd probably have about 3 extra stitches on each side. So that would probably be about 61 stitches to pick up for the collar. But that's not how many stitches you work on the collar because you pick those stitches up and then the first row you do increase the stitches around to make that collar so the collar comes wider. Otherwise the collar, instead of coming down like this, it would come across like that if you use the same number of stitches as what you have for the neck here. But that instructions is in the PDF when I work it out. So that one is finished, ready for the pink and white one for the twins that someone is going to be grandmother to. And I did a little bit. I have 2 blankets to do as well to go to the States as well, and I've managed to do a little bit more of the blanket, but I did take it off the Where did I put them? I did take it off the circular needles because these circular needles are just no good for me. Like I've said before, the points, that is the length of the points where my fingers come to. That's the length of the points. And I'm having to push that right through before I can even put the wool over, and just far too long. The points are just taking me ages to knit them, and it's very clumsy because when you're pushing that up, instead of just going over the wool like that, you've got to go around like that. They just annoy me. So I put them back on the needles, and it's much better because if you look at the points on there, that is where the points come to on there. So you can see the points there on the needle, and the point is down here where the actual size of the needle starts is on these ones, and I just cannot work with those ones. I gave up. But I can get all the stitches on here, and I can knit a lot faster with the needles. That's how I'm getting a bit more of this done. As you can see, the pattern's just well, it's just a reversible pattern. That's what I want, so it doesn't matter what side you have it on. It's going to be shown on both sides. So that's that. A little bit of that, and I have another rant. I didn't tell you about my diversion on Thursday. I put that one down because the stitches are a bit big, but when I came from my bingo on Thursday, I'll do a bit more of this one. There was a diversion last week. Took me up to a roundabout. I come off there where I live. I come off the A1. I drop my friend off, go onto the A1, and then come off the A1 at a place called near Gosforth Park, where the Gosforth Park races are. I come off there and then go onto a road called Sandy Lane. There's some traffic lights. I go up around roundabout and up to some traffic lights and go along a road called Sandy Lane. Well, that road has been closed. It was closed last week because I found out now that they're putting traffic lights on there. There's a big roundabout at the end of it's a very long road to Sandy Lane. You go along road and it comes to a great big roundabout at the bottom. It's quite a big roundabout. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't need traffic lights, but that's what they're doing. They're putting traffic lights on it. So the road's been closed last week, and it was on Thursday night when I came home. It was still closed. Well, the first week, after I went all the way down that road and found out it was closed because they didn't put the sign before you come to the road. It was actually at the start of the road on the traffic lights, so I couldn't do anything else but go down. I could have turned around, one or two places going down towards the end of the road, but I thought maybe it was just one road that was blocked off, but it wasn't. It was the whole roundabout. So I had to turn around and come back, and then I managed to find the way the diversion was, and it took me up to the A19, which takes me down to the tunnel road, which is called the tunnel road because it takes you to the Tyne Tunnel. That's where the road takes you to. But I come off before that because I live in Backworth, and I take the road off that takes me down to Backworth. And that's what I had to do last week, and it took me quite a long time. It took me about an hour to get home instead of 25 minutes, which is normally what it takes. So anyway, I thought when I left the bingo Thursday night, instead of coming off the A1, I'll carry on the A1 all the way up to the Cramlington roundabout, where I get onto the A19 from there to get onto the tunnel road. That was where the diversion took me. So I thought I'll just stay on the A1. It'll save me all that carry on going through the diversions and everything. It does take it slightly longer, but not normally that much longer, because I have used that route before just to test which was the quickest, the way I normally come, or this one. So that's what I did last week, and I got onto the A19 and going down the tunnel road and came off on the Backworth road. That's that I take off, the slip road for Backworth. So I thought when I come out, I'll stay on the A1, and that's what I did. I stayed on the A1 right up to the Cramlington roundabout. And as I come up to the Cramlington roundabout, there's 3 lanes And I know the middle lane is the one that I should be in, but it take me, because it's a very big roundabout, and there's another roundabout goes, you know, lots of traffic lights and lanes, but this centre lane is the one I should be in, and that takes me to another lot of traffic lights. That takes me onto the A19 to go down the tunnel road. So that's what I did. Come up there, comes up to the to those 3 lanes, get to those 3 lanes, ready to get to the traffic lights to go down the A19, and the A19 was blocked. There was a diversion on the A19, and I thought, well, where am I supposed to go from here? So I thought, well, I could just follow the diversion. There's nothing else I could do. I didn't know where else I was supposed to go, so I followed the diversion. That diversion took me back down to where I had started from. I couldn't believe it. Is that the only way for to get onto the tunnel road? Apparently, from what I worked out, the diversion at Cramlington didn't know that the diversion down at my end, the Gosforth Park Hotel end, they didn't know that that end was blocked. You couldn't get, because that road takes you to the tunnel road as well. So I thought, oh, what am I going to do here? So I came down, come off the road, and I thought, I'm not going, the only way to get around, I could have went a different way and went through somewhere called Gosforth, but I didn't like that way because I tend to get lost that way. So I thought, surely this diversion, there must be other ways, because from that island, that roundabout that's blocked, there's about 3 other islands before I get to mine that I come off on. I thought, surely there's other ways to get to these other roundabouts. So instead of following the diversion, I went the same way, but I started looking at signs on the road as I was driving along, and I thought, I know places I can get to from using to get to my home from. This place called Seaton Delaval, Seg Hill. So I'm driving along and I seen a sign saying Seaton Burn. Oh, well, that's Seaton, that would probably take me to Seaton Delaval. So I took that turn, went along there, and then I came to another sign that said Seg Hill. Oh, well, that's even closer. So I'm driving along the road and just driving normal speed, 30 miles an hour, and I passed this road where my eye just caught the name of the road as I was going past it. Backworth Lane. Backworth, that's where I want to be. So I slammed on the brakes. There was nothing behind me. I just reversed up back up. It's on the main road, you know. I just reversed back up and straight down Backworth Lane, and it took me to the village beside where I live, where I normally go onto the road that takes me up to the A1 and that. And I thought, why couldn't they give you a diversion for somewhere like that? That takes you to the tunnel road as well. But anyway, I got home and it was about, I normally leave that bingo place about quarter to 10. It was 11 o'clock by the time I got in the house. And I think all that petrol I've wasted as well, driving around these stupid diversions. So I know that diversion will be on again next week, because I have looked at the dates up in the northeast road closures and things like that, and it's on next week. So instead of me just following the diversion, I'm going to do what I did last week and just follow my own instincts. And I could put my sat-nav on. Once I got away from the A1, my sat-nav would probably take me the way I actually ended up going. Because if I'm anywhere near the A1, my sat-nav just keeps taking me to the A1. So it's a waste of time putting it on if I'm anywhere near the A1. Because it thinks that's the best way for home, because you can drive 70 miles an hour on the A1, but you can't on these other little roads. You can only go 30 and 40 miles an hour, so it automatically takes you to the quickest place. But anyway, that's just another little rant. And I'm just going to do a little bit knitting before it's actually 12 o'clock now. I'm not going to my granddaughter, it's about 2 o'clock, so I'm going to do some knitting for a couple of hours before I go down there. I get my dinner at my granddaughter's and take the sweets down for the kid. I don't have to go to the shop for any sweets because I bought extra last week when I went shopping. So thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you all another time. So bye for now.